If there was no cultural taboos and I had been used to eating dog meat since I was like, growing up and everything, I'd be eating it, right?
Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan, coming to you with a severely deteriorated brain from being vegan too long or something like that. So we'll see what kind of extraordinary evidence VD pulls out of her butt to show that my brain has deteriorated. And I know a lot of you guys say don't give people like this the time of day, don't give them any air. And I have refrained from mentioning her name for that very purpose, but I'm going to put it in the title, I think, for this video, just to make a point here, just to show how deceitful, intentionally deceitful VD is. And you'll see this, the negative things she says about me in her presentation here, she's just projecting, as I'll show. She's really talking about herself. So let's jump right into this.
So I haven't watched Happy Healthy Vegan in a few months. I think it's been like a few months.
Then simply just don't watch my content. I mean, no one's forcing you. It's obvious, we'll all see here, that you simply don't have the brain power to understand my content.
And I saw that he reacted to this video, warning vegans in danger, Dr. Ken Berry and Leara Keith. Yeah, let's watch and see what Happy Healthy Vegan has to say about it.
And our role ultimately is apex predators. Our role is to keep the herds, the giant herds on the plains of Africa, tightly bunched, quickly moving, so that they don't destroy the grass.
Hey, this is Ryan.
Why did he cut that out? Is he gonna disagree with that? I mean, that's the role of predators in general.
See, already you don't understand my content. I played that little clip there at the beginning of my video, a little 10-second intro, just as I had a little intro at the beginning of this video. You don't understand that concept? And actually, let's get to the actual content I discussed there. No, we're not predators on the plains of Africa or anywhere. We're human beings. We live in civilization. If you really think you're a predator, you are deluded.
If you can tell by Pete's question, do you think dog is a good source of protein? First of all, yes, dog is an excellent source of protein. It is a source of complete protein, all the amino acids.
I can't believe your trolling worked. You got them to show the absurdity of their position here, which says, yeah, despite the immorality of killing dogs for food.
That's your opinion.
No, duh. Of course it's my opinion. I never implied that with some objective truth that permeates throughout the entire universe. But for heaven's sake, all of VD's content is just her opinion, given her ill-informed, crappy opinions about how vegans don't look as amazing as she wishes they looked. I mean, how come on your title about my deteriorating brain didn't say, oh, but my opinion? Let's not overlook the bigger point here, which is she disagrees with my opinion that it's immoral to kill dogs to eat them for their meat. I mean, so you think it is okay, it's morally fine to kill dogs to eat them for their meat?
And many people consider it part of their cultural heritage.
Everything that he said, like Dr. Berry's response was very, it was very level-headed. He answered the question in a reasonable way. And I don't know where Ryan is pulling all his hissy fit from.
To eat traditional dog dishes. And so you're actually making fun of, 20 or 30 million people's culture right now.
Oh, I get it. So you're saying, despite the immorality of killing dogs for food, we should...
You keep saying immorality. Nobody's talking about the morals. Except for you, the vegan.
Well, you're right. Between the three of you, VD, Dr. Berry, and Leara, yeah, none of you guys are talking about the moral questions that arise from this idea of that it's totally cool to eat dogs for meat. And this is just not a vegan morality thing. The vast majority of meat eaters seem to agree that there's a moral problem with eating dogs. Your assertion here, there are some cultures where dog eating is part of their cultural heritage, as you say. And let me just say this. I know what you're referring to, like there's the Yulin dog eating festival in China. So take note here how I'm acknowledging there's the Yulin dog eating festival in China, acknowledging that there are some Chinese people in China that eat dog meat. And that speaks volumes because I'm Chinese. I grew up in a traditional Chinese family, and nowhere in our cultural heritage is dog eating a part of it.
He is so very full of himself, but...
VD, all I did here, let's be honest, I brought up my personal experience as being raised in a Chinese family and sharing a truth that dog eating is not a normal part of traditional Chinese culture. Nowhere in that personal story am I asserting that there aren't any Chinese people anywhere who are into eating dogs.
Dog meat is believed to bring good fortune in Vietnamese culture. I saw something else about in Ghana, they consume dog meat. It sounded like it was part of their culture. Like, I know that you are very full of yourself and you don't think there's anything outside of you and your own little box, Ryan. And just because, oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Chinese culture, and I'm part Chinese, and in my individual family, we don't do it. So therefore, it can't be part of anyone's culture.
Talk about having a deteriorated brain, VD. I mean, I wonder, was your brain ever not deteriorated? I mean, your reasoning skills are just completely they suck. I mean, yeah, I shared my personal experience, but nowhere in there did I say there's no people anywhere in the world that didn't live exactly as I do, like not eating dogs.
I get where he's coming from. He wants to say, look, you're going to draw a line somewhere.
That's
so
right.
which animals are appropriate to eat and which animals aren't.
Yeah, they called out his stupid sarcasm.
It's been said that
Stupid is, stupid doesn't.
so if you can't follow my simple, clear, articulate reasoning,
Aren't, and we're all going to make our different decisions. But I have to say that having gone through this whole kind of journey, that my point is I don't draw a line anymore at all.
Wow, Peter, you really caught them to admit a lot here. So Liara is saying she doesn't draw a line anymore.
I think that a lot of people will admit that they wouldn't draw a line, especially if they were starving.
we're not talking about survival, starvation scenarios here. We're talking about real world living in civilization scenarios. People like you and me and all of you guys watching right now who have access to stores and can make decisions about what kinds of foods you want to buy rather than going out and shooting someone's dog.
Which means if there weren't any cultural taboos here in the United States or in the West against dog eating, she would eat dogs because, hey, it's a complete source of protein. She doesn't.
If there was no cultural taboos and I had been used to eating dog meat since I was like, growing up and everything, then I'd be eating it. Right.
So she flats out admitted if she could get away with it without people criticizing her and ostracizing her for her decision to eat dogs, she would gladly eat a dog. I mean, we're the weird ones. Vegans are the weird, horrible people here because we peacefully eat plants. She'll willingly eat a dog. Just let that sink in for a second. So now that we're very clear about her stance about the morality of eating dogs, let me show you what really blew my mind in this video is that she either has an extremely low intelligence due to perhaps a deteriorated brain, my opinion, or she's just intentionally deceptive and hopes people that watch her content aren't smart enough to catch it. So let me show you.
All of us depend on the deaths of other creatures. That is literally what life is. It's one creature eating another.
Okay, Lear, explain this to me. If I go outside into the yard where there's an apple tree and there's a ripe apple that's fallen down on the ground, I pick it up and eat it. Where is in this process?
You are so unbearable, Ryan.
That's the best you can do? An ad hominem attack? You find me unbearable? Why? Because I'm using clear logic to debunk what Liara's saying?
Like, I'm so serious. I don't even know why I'm doing this to myself at this point. Why am I watching this video?
Fine, just stop watching my videos altogether. Just don't bother making videos about me unless you enjoy me showing the world how you indeed have brain deterioration. My opinion.
You really think? Let's go back and play that again real quick. Let's go back and play that again real quick.
All of us depend on the deaths of other creatures. That is literally what life is.
Yes.
It's one creature eating another.
Okay,
Yes.
you guys got that? Liara said, it's one creature eating another. Let me repeat, one creature eating another. So, VD, let's see you do your thing.
Where is in this process one creature killing another to eat it?
She didn't say killing another.
No, she said one creature eating another.
All of us depend on the deaths of other creatures. That is literally what life is. It's one creature eating another.
And that's why I brought up the example of going out and picking a piece of ripe fruit off a tree or grab a piece of kale off a kale plant or whatever. Where in this process does it involve one creature killing or eating another? It doesn't. And that's my whole point. But apparently VD doesn't understand what the word creature means. I mean, this is a word we all should have learned in like second grade.
Let's go back again.
Do it though.
All of us depend on the deaths of other creatures. That is
All of us depend on the deaths of other creatures.
Yes, that's exactly what she said.
literally what life is.
That is what life is. All of us depend on the deaths of other creatures. That is what life is. See how vegans will twist your words? Oh, why don't you go debate Ryan and healthy vegan?
So, VD, do you understand that plants aren't creatures? When I go out in the garden and pick some kale or an apple, I'm not killing or eating a creature. I mean, just look up what the word creature means. It means pretty much any living thing that's not a plant. Yes, of course, I'm eating living things. I'm not eating rocks or minerals. I'm eating living things. They're not creatures. Therefore, I don't have to kill a creature to eat food. Let's say you try that with your dog.
Yes, that is what life is. It is one creature eating, taking up, absorbing into itself another thing.
Notice her last word there was thing when it should have been creature. Let's play it back one more time so you see what I'm talking about.
Yes.
It's one creature eating another.
Okay.
Yes, that is what life is. It is one creature eating, taking up, absorbing into itself another thing.
Well, thank you, VD. You just proved my point, but you're too brain dense from your brain deterioration to understand what you just did here. Because my whole beef with Larry, pardon the pun there, was her whole bit about how
it's one creature eating another.
Go out in the garden, in an apple. Where am I eating another creature in that process? It's just not there. And VD just proved it for me when she said creatures need to absorb other things. That's the key word. Yeah, I'm eating plants. I'm not eating creatures. You understand the difference between creatures and things. I'm absorbing plants. Those are things. So thanks for stating it very clearly for me, VD. But I know that was not your intention, but it just shows you how you tried to sneak one past your viewers here. Just trying to quickly change the wording from Lear's creatures to your much more broad word things, which includes plants, which creatures doesn't.
But you want to sit up here and talk about an apple tree argument.
Awesome. I like that name. From this day forward, let's refer to this as the apple tree argument.
I'm done with this allegedly non-deficient vegan. His brain is clearly deficient. He's clearly...
Stop being naughty. You got to say that's your opinion. How come I'm the only one that has to do that? But anyway, speaking of deficient brains, who knows? Perhaps mine is deficient. I doubt it. But if anyone's is deficient, I suspect it's the person who doesn't understand that plants aren't creatures.
The apple tree. You think there was no dead animals fertilizing that soil, no dead insects and animals fertilizing that soil ever? A bird never died near the base of that tree and broke down?
First of all, this apple tree and my apple tree argument is a hypothetical thought experiment tree. There's no actual tree we can monitor to count how many animals may have or may have not died in the whole lifetime of the tree or whatever like that. It's a thought experiment, but it's all irrelevant because let's look at what veganism is, its definition, and it's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. Nowhere here does it say absolute perfection, or that an insect couldn't die naturally and fertilize the soil. Any of that happens, veganism is null and void. No, once again, like many anti-vegans, VD seems to be confusing the ahimsa concept from Jainism, which is not what veganism is about. So it's quite obvious that critical thinking type stuff is not really like VD's wheelhouse. So if she's going to keep making these slanderous videos about people, just do what you're good at, VD, is just hitting pause on video. Like a vegan will be sitting here talking like this, and you'll hit pause and try to find the most unflattering frame where they look like for like half a second. Let me do that again so you can get a good thumbnail for your next video. You watch and I'm giving you a freebie here. Use one of those, it's on me, and you make some video making a bunch of crap up how veganism caused them to look like this, and just make up what? I know you're really good at that, you're really creative, you should be a fiction writer, but I suggest, try to find a real job where you don't have to exploit people by slandering them in order to get some cheap ad money. That's just really not cool. And it might be illegal too. I'm not a lawyer, but I might look into it someday. So anyway, guys, leave your question in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought of VD's claims about me here, and brain and lying and all that stuff. Let me know your thoughts. Do I need to always state my opinion because I'm a different class of citizen than her? She can just say what she wants and I have to disclaim it as my opinion, but I have to, why do I have to? Anyway, leave your comments down below, hit like, share this video, and remember, it doesn't suck being vegan. See you guys next time.